Good Good morning and welcome to the Core Connection. I'm Mira Rubin here with you on Enlightened World Network. And today's topic is random acts of kindness. So this should be a lot of fun. And uh, before we get started, let's just take a minute or two to settle in and get present. And we'll do that by first taking a deep breath in through your nose, hold it, and imagine this beautiful, pure, clean oxygen coursing into your lungs, into your bloodstream, throughout your cells, enlivening your body. And as you exhale, exhale any tension or stress in your body. And now let's just take another deep breath in through your nose. Hold it, and this time imagine sparkling white light coursing throughout every molecule of your body and beyond, connecting you with the universe and enlivening and enlightening every part of your being. And now let's just gently press our palms together, softly, softly, softly. Rub your fingers against your palms to feel the deliciousness of that tingling in your fingers, in your palms, and the deliciousness of being present right here, right now, in these wonderful bodies that enable us to experience the world. So, welcome. I'm so glad to have you here with me today. We're going to talk about random acts of kindness because emotions are contagious. And why not make kindness go viral, right? So, what are random acts of kindness? And if you're with me today and listening, I invite you to chime in because unfortunately I'm not seeing comments yet. If you're here, maybe you could post a comment so that I know our comments are working, and I don't have to take other extraordinary measures. I got comfortable with the fact that comments were working over the past few days, so I didn't put in my fail safe by having a second computer active with the chat. So, good. We've got comments. Thank you, Dido. Now I can breathe easy. We're talking today about random acts of kindness and making kindness go viral. So, I know that you must have experience when somebody is laughing, just laughing and laughing and laughing. You can't help yourself but laugh as well, right? So that's the idea here is that we have the capacity to create or create a viral effect with our emotions, whether they're positive or negative. So let's choose positive emotions and let's look at the fun of doing random acts of kindness. So, what would that look like? It can be the most simple thing, like I was going to say carrying somebody's groceries, but in this day of COVID, that might not be the best thing. I don't know, but I know, like on the turnpike, sometimes, or from time to time, I have paid for the person behind me. Or the person in front of me has paid for me going through a toll, and that's pretty exciting and lovely. There are all kinds of things that we can do. Really, something as simple as reaching out to a stranger just by acknowledging somebody in these days when we're all masked up and we are not getting the one-on-one connection through our smiles that we might have had before. Now we can just pass on wonderful wishes to other people, or just something as simple as saying have a great day, or how are you doing, or just start conversation with people that you don't know, and pass along those uh, great vibes to others. uh, what other kinds of wonderful things can we do that are random acts of kindness? Obviously, if you see someone struggling, to assist them is a really powerful act of kindness. And I don't know why, but groceries still come to mind for me. I'm sure that if you're all messed up, you could probably assist somebody that was needing some support and some help. What other kinds of random acts of kindness have you participated in or been the receiver of? My brother told me one day he was so moved, and this is the beauty of these random acts of kindness. He was so moved. Somebody paid for his gas or paid $10 or something toward his gas when he went to get gas for his car. And he was so touched. He just was beyond himself. And this was he didn't even know who it was who did this. We can donate funds, especially in these times when so many people are struggling. We can support people in that way. What are other creative random acts of kindness that we can do? Maybe we could leave flowers for a neighbor, or I've heard I've heard of people cutting other people's lawns, without I don't know that that's something you necessarily would wanna do without permission, but, uh, crazy and wonderful things like that. What are some other ideas that you have around these random acts of kindness? And let's just think about what that creates for another person. It creates surprise and lifts somebody else out of their stream of continuity in a way. It's a beautiful disruption, and it can create sort of a sense of wonder and joy, and a sense of being cared for by forces beyond oneself, and it can nurture our sense of connection and hope. A lot of us are on Zoom these days, and there are chats in Zoom, and we can acknowledge other people in the context of the chat. That's something really simple that's available to us and very easily. And the thing too about doing these random acts of kindness is they're uplifting for you as well. So the feeling of being able to surprise somebody with something unanticipated and delightful is kind of a wonderful thing. And what this conversation is really about is what kind of contribution can we give to one another without looking for acknowledgement or recognition. So Dido says sometimes our neighbors cleared the snow on our sidewalk or mowed our lawn, which is nice. It's really nice and generous. And when people do things for other people without being asked, it's just such a delight. I mean, there are people in your life, I'm sure a random act of kindness for a friend, and obviously it's going to identify you, but is to just be able to send them a message, give them a call, leave them a note, mail them a letter that tells them how wonderful they are, not you are, how wonderful they are. So I have a client who had this wonderful project. It was so brilliant. And it was a project to I don't know if it was 100 or 500 people, but to write notes and mail them to these people in this person's life who had made an impact, and just to acknowledge these people, and through these notes that were completely unanticipated and unprovoked, for teachers that had made an impact, or physical trainers, or other people that had said something that was memorable, and sending acknowledgement to them. I thought it was such a beautiful, beautiful thing. And in the process of doing this project, this person got to experience such love and appreciation for all these special people in their lives. It was really such a beautiful thing all the way through, because I'm certain that the people that received those notes just felt incredibly moved by that extension of affection and appreciation and care. Uh, Help me out here. What other kinds of good things are there that are random acts of kindness, either that you have done or that you've experienced? I mean, sometimes just we don't see it so much anymore, but if you are in a city, there are people that are playing music on the street, for instance. And or if we get to go to a restaurant, some of us have been able to go to restaurants to leave an exceptionally high tip, or to drop an extra amount of money in a musician's collection jar. Or Christina, welcome. So glad you're here. So this is a beautiful thing. Christina says, I bring handmade thank you postcards with me often now. They're a pleasant surprise that are so simple but spreads joy to all involved. Christina, that is brilliant. When somebody does something and you just give them a thank you note, amazing. So she says, yesterday I went to our post office and made sure to bring one. It brought a smile to a frowning face. I felt so good to help do that. I love the note to those that I love the note to those that made a difference. Yeah, isn't that incredible? It's a beautiful, beautiful practice. And I love what you're doing with these thank you notes, because people are doing all kinds of, the folks that are working in stores and restaurants, and going the extra mile to do the extra cleaning and putting themselves in potential harm's way. They deserve our appreciation and thank you. And I love, Christina, that you bring these postcards, the thank you notes. That's brilliant. And thank you so much for sharing that. It's something that we can do, and it's easy, and what a difference it'll make. Exactly what you said, Christina, as far as bringing smiles to a frowning face. Just people don't expect the kinds of kindness that we can spread. And uh, it's a pattern interrupt. When somebody's having a miserable time, they just don't know what to do, it shakes them out of it. And there's a feeling of grace, I think, that people receive from that. Dido says, in our neighborhood, we interview people about someone we're grateful for and post that thank you blog on our neighborhood website. Wow, that's amazing, Dido. I love that. So that's a way to grant recognition to people within a community. Wow, what a gift that is. And it must make people feel so good and treasured and appreciated. I love it. So even in the places, particularly in the places where there's little provocation, to connect with someone and share joy or appreciation, uh, like when somebody's got a frowning face, like Christina did with her thank you note, to really shift someone's experience. I think what it does is it gives you a reality reboot, to be on the receiving end and to be on the giving end, to realize what power you have to be able to shape your experience and the experience of others. When we realize how how far a smile can go, or how far a "Wow, you look gorgeous today," or isn't it even something as simple as saying to a stranger, "Isn't it a glorious day?" Some reaching out to connect is a very, very simple thing. It doesn't even have to be an extraordinary measure. Christina says, replying to Enlightened World, she's replying to Dido about the neighborhood posting. She says, "This is great. I'm a community activist in my own small town, and that's such a wonderful idea." Yes, beautiful. So maybe we can make that kind of idea go viral, where in our own towns, with our own community, we can create acknowledgement that just sort of comes out of nowhere for people to be feeling a greater sense of belonging and connection. So I'm wondering if anybody else has any other ideas to share about these random acts of kindness and how we can propagate a a an environment of happiness and connection, and the connection breeds a greater sense of safety for people too. I think that's really true. When we feel a sense of belonging, uh, we naturally feel less frightened, and I know a lot of people are feeling fearful. So, another thing we can do is I keep coming back to groceries, but we could pay for other people's groceries. I've heard of people doing that, and actually I've done that, on occasion, for folks, just unexpectedly to pay for someone's groceries, or a portion of their groceries even, or to do something crazy like buy a lottery ticket and give that to somebody who's a stranger, or what else could we do? All kinds of wonderful things. Um, I love the idea of sharing flowers. Uh, there's a lot of wonderful wildflowers out there that you don't have to raid somebody else's yard to get to, and to be able to share the flowers with somebody, or um, what else? What else would be a wonderful act of kindness? I keep thinking of how we can, I mean, even opening doors for a stranger, uh, is is so simple a thing to do, but it breeds a sense of connection, and, to connect with people in a playful and joyful way. So, the idea here is that when we connect with others, when we're playful, when we're grateful, when we're joyful, when we're giving and kind, what happens is that it engenders higher frequency emotions in others, and can really, really make a difference. I've heard stories about folks who have been, I don't remember where I heard the story, but it was about this person who was in a really deep depression, and had actually decided to commit suicide, and a person reached out to them just to say, "Hello, how are you? What a glorious day today." Just, and it touched this person so deeply to have a connection with someone that they didn't even know, that they turned their lives around from it. So we don't know what impact we're going to have, whether it's a angry word or a kind word. And so why not choose kindness and choose connection? And you never know what the impact of that is going to be in terms of the ripple effect that you're creating. So we do have the capability to have a positive impact with the simplest things. And I invite you to take on the challenge to do at least one random act of kindness today. Maybe reach out to somebody that you haven't been in contact with and tell them how much they mean to you. Or maybe post something in a group in which you're active that spreads this challenge for the random act of kindness even. So we really could make it go viral, which would be a pretty wonderful thing, yes? So maybe there are friends that you can enroll in this game today to just elevate the lives of several people that you can connect with. And Christina says, in these times, just acknowledging positively, making friendly eye contact, waving, all seem to carry more weight and value now. I agree with you, Christina, because so many people are feeling isolated, and with these masks and our faces covered up, we can't see each other with the same level of interaction. And actually, that just brings me to think about a friend of mine telling me that she was able to find clear masks online. Apparently, they have a big back order, but there's probably a really good business opportunity here for somebody that would want to take it on. But clear masks so that people get to see you smile, people get to see your face, and we get to maintain the level of connection that is so much a part of our humanity. And I invite you to check that out. I actually haven't searched for those masks, but now I'm inspired to, because I think that that could make such a big difference. And in fact, one of the acts of kindness that she does is she buys these masks, and people say, "Oh my gosh, it's so wonderful to see a face. It's so wonderful to see your smile." And she gives people these masks. And that's something that we can do to reconnect to our humanity with one another, uh, to break through this growing sense of isolation, separation, fear of one another. Let's find ways to connect beyond and through it. And Christina says, "Oh, look at this. Isn't that so funny?" Christina says, "I just put in an order for clear masks that aren't supposed to fog backlog, but on order." Christina, if you have the capacity to find the link that you ordered those clear masks, maybe we can make a run on those. And I love that you had this, that we're on the same page here with this. What a beautiful coincidence. So maybe you could even just tell us where you found them so we can all do our own searches. And and so maybe just wearing a clear mask that doesn't fog, where people can see your face, that's an act of kindness in its own way, because it connects us once again back to one another, which I love and I think is so important right now. Whatever ways we can connect, it's interesting. There are always conspiracy theories, and I've heard, conspiracy theories about breeding separation and fear and whatever because our masks and whatever. Well, conspiracy theory or no, being able to see one another's faces is so important, because I think it's something crazy like 95 or more percent of our communication is actually nonverbal. And that means facial expressions, also body expressions, et cetera, et cetera. So being able to see each other's faces is a really important, valuable part of our communication. And without that, obviously, it's natural that we would feel more isolated. And Dido says, we have a local fabric store where people donate fabric, and volunteers have been making masks, and people donate to get them. That's beautiful. I love it. And being able to make the mask making uh, activity a community venture is a way that we can connect again, even in spite of, even beyond this mask sort of separation thing. And Christina says, I sure will send a link and post here on comments when the show is over. That would be great, Christina. I so appreciate that. Everybody will. Um, I'm gonna go get myself some clear masks. I heard they were on back order as well. And Christina says, my sister's deaf, so it's important for me to do that. Well, you know what? You bring up a really important point. So what about the people that are hearing impaired that rely on lip reading? That's huge. Imagine what it would be to just be so completely cut off from all kinds of communication because of these masks. Wow. Christina, thank you for that. I truly hadn't even considered that, and that just shows how unconscious I can be to not even realize what an impact that would have for folks that rely on being able to read lips. Wow. Thank you for that, Christina. It's very sobering to wake up to the impact that this is having on a whole population of people that is something unanticipated. Wow. Well, I am going to bring this to a close, but it's been such fun to play with you guys today. And I again reiterate the challenge to do at least one random act of kindness and see if you can enroll some other folks in this revolutionary, evolutionary activity. And Dido says, yes, my son is partially deaf, so I get it. I get it that it's important to be able to communicate through a clear mask. And Christina says, many of our elderly are hard of hearing as well. And I'm glad someone thought of clear masks. Me too. And it hadn't even occurred to me. And now we get to maybe we make a run on clear masks. And like I said, the ones that I've heard of being available are on back order. So it's probably a phenomenal business opportunity right now to be getting into the clear mask business. So I just want to thank you again for being here with me today and every weekday morning at 9 a.m. This is the Core Connection. I'm Mira Rubin, and we are broadcasting live through Enlightened World Network. And so if you haven't already checked out the Enlightened World Network Facebook page, please do. There's all kinds of wonderful programming, a phenomenal, heartfelt, and enlightened community of people that are all about connecting and living from the heart. So, with lots and lots of love and deep compassion, I hope to see you again soon.